The Houston Trastros came to town tonight, but unfortunately, the Angels weren't able to give them what they deserved. Just 3 hits for the offense, and Aldegheri chased after just 2 innings in another loss. We'll talk about it on tonight's edition of the Locked On Angels Postcast right now.
You are Locked On Angels Postcast, part of Locked On Sports Los Angeles, on the Locked On Podcast Network. Your team every day.
Hello, Halo Nation. Hello, Halo hopefuls. Hello, Postcast people. And welcome to the latest edition of the Locked On Angels Postcast, coming at you live, as always, from the Locked On Sports Los Angeles YouTube channel and after the fact, wherever you get the Locked On Angels podcast feed. If you don't know who I am Gavin Carlson. I spent the last 4 years as a credentialed journalist in the Los Angeles area, and I'm now a part of the Locked On Podcast Network, where it's your team every day. Thanks for making the Locked On Angels Postcast the place to be, the place to hang out after every Angels game. And unfortunately, as of late, and really all year, it has been the place to talk about losses. Another loss for the Angels tonight. They fall to 27 games under 500, 60-87, firmly in last place in the division after a loss to the division rivals, to the team that everybody in Major League Baseball hates, the Houston Astros, by a score of 5-3. Sam Aldegheri, really interested to see whenever he pitches, and hoping that he is the future of this rotation, but he struggled tonight. He only pitches 2 innings, gives up 6 hits, 4 earned runs, and the main thing that killed him, 5 walks in just 2 innings. 5 walks and the home run. So really probably his worst start of his young major league career. The offense only manages 3 hits tonight, but still scores 3 runs, thanks in large part to a Mickey Moniak big solo home run, and also 2 runs in the 3rd inning as well against Kikuchi. But Kikuchi does get the win, and the Angels once again fall 5-3. Shout out to everybody in here. As always, appreciate you so much. We're nearing the end of this tough, rough season, but the only thing that's been good about this season has been the community we've been able to build on the postcast. So I appreciate all of you for always being in here, especially the loyal people, Jeff, Anaheim Angel, Roger, and so many others. Appreciate seeing all you guys in the comment section, and everybody else that watches both live and after the fact, or listens after the fact. Make sure you leave a like, subscribe, comment, all that good stuff. Also, I hope you appreciate the background. I'm in my new apartment. We're slowly getting it to where I want it to be. You see the 4 jerseys, the 4 signed jerseys, and I'm working on the lighting, okay? Because I want this kind of nice atmosphere with the lights down, and I got the glow in the dark to this side with the sign, and this light glowing here, but you can't really see the signatures on the jerseys, so that's something I want to work on. You probably can't even tell, but the Pulisic jersey is signed, the Kevin Durant jersey is signed, the Chelsea's jersey's got like 10 signatures on it, and the Brazil jersey's got like 15. So I'm working on the lighting. I want you guys to be able to see that. Also, you see the hangers. I know they look a little ugly. We're going to work on that as well. Cover it up with our Angels banners and other stuff like that, hopefully by tomorrow's postcast. But with all that being said, let's jump into this one. A quick shout out to the sponsor of today's postcast. It is PrizePicks. Go to prizepicks.com/LockedOnMLB and use code all lowercase LockedOnMLB to win $50 instantly when you play $5. So where we start this one tonight is with Sam Aldegheri. I think that's what we have to talk about. A relatively close game. We could talk about it being tight late and a costly run in the 9th inning, in the top of the 9th inning, because at that point, the Angels are down 4-3, and maybe in the bottom of the 9th, the Angels can have some magic and escape with a tying run, send it to extra innings, or maybe even a 2-run walk-off. But you give up a run in the top of the 9th, and that makes it a 2-run deficit, and you really felt like once that happened, the Angels aren't scoring 2 runs against Josh Hader. I mean, that would be the story if we were in some playoff race and it was really about the games itself, but we know we're at a point where we care more about how certain players are performing, especially these young pitchers. So I want to start with Sam Aldegheri, and not a great start for him. Like I said, gives up 5 walks in 2 innings. Real rough outing. I mean, there's no other way to put it. The Astros lineup is, of course, pretty darn solid. They are a first-place team at now 79-68, and it starts right away with a leadoff single by Jose Altuve, but we're able to throw him out at second base. Taylor Ward actually makes a nice defensive play. Stefanik makes a nice tag, and it's a pretty solid start to this one. But then Sam Aldegheri starts to show signs that it's going to be a rough start for him, because with 2 outs, he walks back-to-back hitters in Yainer Diaz and Kyle Tucker. He's able to get out of the inning, but that was just a precursor or foreshadowing to the struggles he would have with control in this one. Top of the second, he gets a leadoff ground out from Jeremy Pena, but the ball was hit really, really well, 100 miles an hour on a fastball right down the middle. That was not great at all. It's just 90 miles an hour. So not a great pitch, probably should have been a base hit. And then what happens? The baseball gods say, not so fast. Back-to-back singles for the Astros. Victor Caratini hits a ground ball on a changeup, a 1-2 changeup that's way too high. You want that changeup down and away. Instead, it ends up being kind of up and away, and Caratini is able to hit it pretty well. Then Jake Myers comes up with 1 on and 1 out, and it's not a bad pitch at all. A first pitch slider down and in, and he doesn't hit it well at all. It's just a little bloop into left field. Just like that, there's 2 on with 1 out, and this is where things start to implode. Aldegheri walks Mauricio Dubon on a 6-pitch at-bat. 3 straight balls to start the at-bat. He does come back with 2 fastballs in the zone. Both are strikes, 1 called, 1 fouled off, but then on 3 and 2, he doesn't really throw a bad pitch in my opinion. A down and in changeup, Dubon just has a nice take, especially where those 2 previous pitches were. 2 fastballs, relatively low. You come back with a 3-2 changeup, not a bad idea. Just a nice walk there, a nice at-bat from Mauricio Dubon. But what is not at all a nice job by Sam Aldegheri is the next at-bat. Jose Altuve, yes, he's a dangerous hitter. Yes, the bases are loaded. Yes, at this point it's 0-0 and you're playing like it's 0-0. But oh my goodness, a 4-pitch walk to Jose Altuve, none of them close, all of them low, none of them even really sniffing the knees. So instantly you walk in a run, it's 1-0, and then Aldegheri goes up against Yordan Alvarez. I really was interested in this matchup because, of course, it is lefty on lefty, but one of the better lefty hitters in the league in Yordan Alvarez. And first pitch slider down and away, and Alvarez hits kind of a weak little sac fly to right field. I mean, not really weak. He hit it 315, but not a bad pitch by Aldegheri. I'm not going to be on him for that one. The problem is that when you have back-to-back walks, even if you make a decent pitch, it's a sac fly. So just like that, it's 2-0 after 2 innings, and then in the top of the third, things get real bad for Aldegheri. A leadoff single from Kyle Tucker on a 2-1 pitch. The ball was absolutely ripped. He throws a fastball high and right down the middle, way too much of the plate. The moral of the story is Aldegheri, he just throws a straight 4-seam fastball, and he doesn't throw it hard, which is why between him and some of the other younger guys in terms of Kohanowitz, in terms of Caden Dana, in terms of Jose Soriano, certainly it's not just a slow fastball right down the middle. I mean, Kohanowitz certainly doesn't have amazing strikeout stuff, but he's been able to throw the sinker a lot and get weak contact. Aldegheri just throws that 4-seam fastball kind of right down the middle, and it's very straight and it's not that hard. So it's very easy for good hitters to square it up. And we saw that here. Kyle Tucker hits it 107.6 exit velo, and then Alex Bregman on the next pitch, another fastball up and in, but same thing. If it's up and in at 96, it's a tough pitch to hit. Or if it's down and away and it's a sinker, even if it's 90, it's hard to hit. But if it's up and in at 90.9, Alex Bregman is going to turn on it. He was sitting for a first pitch fastball. He got it. He destroyed it. 378 feet, so he didn't crush it, but 378 feet for Bregman, just like that. It's 4-0. And at this point, you're like, okay, it's a rough start for Aldegheri. Leave him in. Hopefully he can be resilient. At this point, we know what the Angels are playing for, nothing. So don't take him out. Let's see if he has some resilience, but he did not respond at all. He immediately then gives up a double to Jeremy Pena. Not a terrible pitch, but another first pitch swinging. They were just all over him. It looked kind of like a night where the Astros were getting signs early or waiting to hear trash cans being banged or something like that, because a lot of first pitch swinging. This one, a down and slider at the knees that Pena hits pretty hard for a double. And then Caratini comes up, and it's another just not good walk at all. Only 1 strike on a ball that wasn't even in the zone, and it was fouled off. Other than that, 4 balls, another walk, and at this point, Ron Washington just said, I got to pull the plug. You've given up 4 runs before you've gotten an out here in the top of the third, and then you give up a double and a walk. So he, of course, takes out Aldegheri there. Unfortunately, Ryan Miller comes in and is able to get 3 straight outs to get the Angels out of this inning and leave it at 4-0, which temporarily looked like it actually meant something, because the Angels immediately come back and score 2 runs in the next inning, but ultimately the 4-run hole was just too much for the Angels to get out of. So the number one priority coming into a game like this is to see how Schanuel Aldegheri would perform, and he did not pass the test at all. So, of course, anytime you lose, it's an unsuccessful night, but especially when the primary goal, to see a young pitcher play well, does not happen. Unfortunate stuff for the Angels there. So, yeah, Aldegheri struggles. The bullpen was actually pretty good, including Jose Suarez again, another good performance. But, yeah, Aldegheri not good enough. Unfortunate. No need to, sound any alarms or anything. I don't view him as a favorite to be one of the top 4, top 5 starting pitchers for the Angels next year. My pecking order, I talk about it all the time, but I think it is still Tyler Anderson 1, Jose Soriano 2, Caden Dana probably 3, Reed Detmers probably 4, and at this point you probably have Jack Kohanowitz at 5. At least that's what I think. Aldegheri probably slides in at number 6. So not going to sound any alarms. I'm not even really frustrated about the 4 runs. I would have just liked to see him, after he gives up those 4 runs, come back and have a nice, resilient end to that 3rd inning. But instead, he gives up a double and a walk, and you just got to pull the plug on him. That is unfortunate. But shout out to everybody in here. A lot of people in here. Love to see it. Appreciate it so much. Let me know your thoughts on this game. Leave comments, because I will get to them at the end of the postcast. But we're going to take our first break. When we come back, we'll talk about the offense. They only have 3 hits, but they score 3 runs thanks to a home run from Mickey Moniak and a couple of other decent RBIs, but still not much from the offense. We'll talk about it after our first break here on the Locked On Angels postcast. Now, today's show is brought to you by TonaI. Love talking about TonaI. For those of us who thrive on getting stuff done, including workouts, every minute counts. That's why you need TonaI, the smart strength training system that takes the guesswork out of working out, so you can make sure you're making the most of every rep. When life gets busy, fitting in a workout can be stressful. And this is where I'm going to jump in and say, I agree. Literally today, I still lift at UCLA's gym, the Wooden Center, and I had no idea that the gym closed at 8 today. So I was watching the Angels game, getting ready to go to the gym. I like to lift during the game so I can watch, take out some frustration at the gym, and also just, multitask. I'm a busy person, but I didn't realize the gym closes at 8 and closed at 8 on Fridays. They changed the schedule around quite a bit. So I show up at 7:20. I see I have 40 minutes, and I normally like to lift for 90 minutes. I had to jam a workout in really quick. Was not ideal at all. So yeah, when life gets busy or when you don't know the schedules of things, fitting in a quality workout can be stressful. But with TonaI, you can get efficient workouts personalized just for you, and they're available with the amount of time you have. TonaI is the world's smartest and most effective strength training system that helps you get stronger. Powered by AI, TonaI learns with every rep, so it can deliver workouts personalized just for you. TonaI learns from your movement and provides suggested weight recommendations for every move. With detailed progress reports, they even create a personalized program and workout suggestions or recommendations based on your individual goals. It's like having a personal trainer at home with you, as TonaI will optimize every workout just for you. Unlike traditional gym equipment, TonaI uses adaptive digital weight to advance your training techniques, and from professional athletes to the mom of 3, it's trusted by thousands who have become their strongest. Right now, TonaI is offering our listeners $200 off your TonaI purchase with promo code LOCKEDONMLB. That's TonaI.com and use promo code LOCKEDONMLB for $200 off your purchase. That's TonaI.com, promo code LOCKEDONMLB for $200 off. Back here live on the Locked On Sports Los Angeles YouTube channel. This is the Locked On Angels postcast. I am Gavin Carlson, and the Angels fall tonight by a score of 5-3. Schanuel Aldegheri, the young starting pitcher that we did acquire in a trade at the deadline, probably his worst start of his career. His young and still hopefully promising career, but not a great start at all. He's now 1-2. The ERA is now at 4.85, and he opened his career with an okay start. He gave up 2 earned runs, 7 total runs, but just 2 of them were earned in 5 innings against the Seattle Mariners on August 30th. Then on September 6th, he actually looked pretty darn good. Just 3 hits allowed and 1 earned run in 6 innings pitched against the Texas Rangers. And then in another division opponent, now 3 starts, 3 division opponents, he struggles here tonight. 6 hits, 4 earned runs in just 2 innings pitched, and it could have been a lot worse if Ryan Miller didn't come in and shut the door in the 3rd inning. Now, the Angels, they only scored 3 runs tonight. They only had 3 hits tonight, out-hit 14-3. And yet, you take 3 runs when you only get 3 hits. The problem is, 3 hits is just not good enough. Once again, the lineup not good enough. In the bottom of the first inning, not much going. A single from Nolan Schanuel and a little surprise stolen base. Kikuchi doesn't give up many stolen bases, and Nolan Schanuel, of all people, able to get that. Nothing going, though. Bottom of the second, so 1-2-3. But then we get to the third. At this point is when the Angels fell behind 4-0. Ryan Miller keeps it to 4, and you're like, let's see if him keeping it at 4 means something. And initially, it looked like it would, because Jordan Adams, the young guy who's still in his first couple of weeks as a major leaguer, he takes a leadoff walk. You love to see that because he is a very fast guy. It's a nice 7-pitch walk, and immediately he steals second base. He showed off the power recently with his first career home run. Now he shows off the speed with his first career major league stolen base. Then Jack Lopez gets pinch hit, and he takes a 5-pitch walk. And just like that, it's first and second with nobody out, and you are liking your chances. But then Taylor Ward grounds out. Both runners are able to advance. Jordan Adams gets to third. Jack Lopez gets to second. And so it's second and third with 1 out. Zach Neto comes up. A base hit here would have been huge. It would become 4-2. There would still only be 1 out. And you're talking about cutting into this lead bigly, as certain people like to say, by the end of the inning. But unfortunately, Neto grounds out. He does get an RBI. Technically, you say you do your job a little bit. And luckily, it did not matter because in the next at-bat, Nolan Schanuel comes up and has another single to score Jack Lopez, and then Nolan Schanuel advances to second on a throwing error by Mauricio Dubon. Maybe there's a chance to make it 3 runs still, but Charles LeBlanc, who I don't know why he's DHing and hitting cleanup when he hasn't shown much as a hitter, he grounds out, and that ends the inning. But already, Nolan Schanuel has 2 base hits. He gets an RBI there. Neto gets an RBI on the ground out. And it's a ball game again. It's a ball game again, and it looks like even more of a ball game because bottom of the fourth, the bullpen for the Angels starting to settle in, and then Mickey Moniak comes up against Kikuchi. Kikuchi has only given up 4 home runs against lefties, and Moniak comes up right here against the lefty, and he hits his first home run against the lefty. A lot of people think, I talk too much about lefty versus righty versus lefty. It's important in baseball, okay? Especially with the way guys throw nowadays. So to see Mickey Moniak hit a home run off a lefty, very impressive. Especially you get a fastball, then you get back-to-back sliders. So the slider is in your head, and on 1-2, Kikuchi comes with a down and in fastball after he just threw you 2 sliders that broke away. It's not easy, but clearly Moniak was waiting for the fastball, and he guessed right, and he crushed it. 104.8 exit velo, 393 feet. And at this point, it's an absolute huge swing, because it's a 4-3 ball game. It's not a hit that doesn't mean anything. It's like, okay, Mickey Moniak, very impressive. And you got to give Mickey Moniak credit. Such a bad start to the year, but he has slowly had a decent end of the season. The average is 226. He hits another home run, his 14th of the year. The OPS is at 661. It's not going to be a great year when all is said and done. Would love to see the average at least like 240, the OPS at least 700. I don't think we're going to see either of those things. But with how bad of a start to the season it was, once again, I keep saying it. I would rather have a guy have a rough middle of the season, but then have a really strong end to the year, because then you go into spring training, or you go into the offseason, you go into spring training, not needing to change a ton, just needing to tweak a few things to then maybe have a huge 2025. So I keep saying this month, as much as it feels like it means nothing with the Angels at 60 and 87, I think it means more than August meant, and more than July meant, and even more than June meant, because these are the final games before a long break. This is what you remember about your previous season, not what you did in June. If you had a terrible June but an unbelievable September, you end the year feeling good about yourself as a baseball player. So I would love to see guys like Moniak, like Schanuel, continue to stay hot going into the offseason so they can be positive about themselves, tweak a few things to take it to the next level in 2025. But yeah, unfortunately, that Moniak home run was the last run, because neither team scores in innings 5, 6, 7, or 8, and then the Astros pick up one big run in the top of the 9th, and it's a big run, like I said at the beginning, because if the Angels go into the bottom of the 9th inning against Josh Hader down 4-3, you're not liking your chances, but there's a chance. The second you fall behind 5-3, you're really not liking your chance. Schanuel and LeBlanc both get out, or LeBlanc, and then Logan O'Hoppe pinch hits for Matt Thaiss, but he strikes out to end the ball game. So not really a great offensive performance. Like seeing Nolan Schanuel have a multi-hit game, like seeing Mickey Moniak hit the home run, but unfortunately, it's not one of those games where, a couple guys did things that didn't show on the stat sheet. really, other than that Zach Neto RBI ground out, there wasn't any secret good stuff that happened that we don't see. Adams did have a walk and stolen base, so you got to give him his credit there. The only other walk of the game coming via Jack Lopez. That was in the inning that where the Angels scored 2 runs. He did score a run. So those are 2 big walks. But at the end of the day, no one else does anything. Just 3 hits and 2 walks. So 5 base runners. Other than that, absolutely nothing for the Angels tonight. Do not love to see it at all. And also a 1 for 5 with runners in scoring position. We're going to take our last break here on the Locked On Angels Postcast, and when I come back, I'll get to your comments. We'll look at the road ahead, because the question remains, can the Angels get to 68 wins? We're running out of time, folks. We'll talk about it after our last break here on the Locked On Angels Postcast. Now, today's show is brought to you by PrizePicks. Did you know that right now in the month of September, 1 Caleb Williams passing yard gets you 1 win on PrizePicks every week? That's right, only 1 yard gets you an automatic win every football weekend in September. 4 weeks of free W's. Don't miss the deal on PrizePicks, because it's gone when September ends. Right now, you can win up to 100 times your money on PrizePicks with as little as 4 correct picks. America's #1 daily fantasy sports app with over 5 million active members. The easiest and most exciting way to play daily fantasy sports, and it's the best way to get action on sports in states like California, Texas, and Georgia, where sports betting is not legal, but PrizePicks is. Want to play PrizePicks alongside Drewski, Joe Budden, and MMA champ Sugar Sean O'Malley? You can now find community plays under the promos tab of the app to view entries from some of the biggest names in the PrizePicks community each week. PrizePicks is the only real money daily fantasy platform with an injury insurance policy, so that your lineup stay in play even if one of your players gets injured. If your player leaves in the first half and doesn't return, with PrizePicks, your picks are still live. So download the PrizePicks app today and use code LOCKEDONMLB and get $50 instantly when you play $5. That's code LOCKEDONMLB on PrizePicks to get $50 instantly when you play $5. You don't even need to win to receive the $50 bonus. It's guaranteed. PrizePicks, run your game. And today's show is also brought to you by FanDuel. You've heard me talk a lot about FanDuel, America's #1 sportsbook. Well, right now I have something a little bit different for you. Now through September 22nd, all FanDuel customers can bet $5 and get a 3-week free trial of NFL Sunday Ticket from YouTube and YouTube TV. Then with a YouTube base plan, you'll be able to watch every regular season Sunday afternoon out of market game. All you need is a Google account and a current form of payment, and you can cancel anytime. Trust me, it's a great deal. I had NFL Sunday Ticket last season. I'm currently using the free promo that we're talking about here right now. Sunday Ticket's great, and on YouTube, it's even better than it was on DirecTV, because YouTube is a streaming company, okay? So they know how to get you streaming on a smart TV, on a regular TV, on a phone, on a laptop. It works great on everything. So just visit FanDuel.com and download America's #1 sportsbook, FanDuel, to take advantage of this great offer. Back here live one more time on the Locked On Sports Los Angeles YouTube channel. This is the Locked On Angels Postcast. I'm Gavin Carlson. The Angels fall 5-3. We're sad about that. Hopefully we're a little bit happier about the fact that the season is almost over, because it does feel at this point like we're struggling as a fan base. I don't want the season to end, actually, because I still think there's a couple young guys it's interesting to follow. Can't wait to see the next Caden Dana start. Can't wait to see what Schanuel Aldegheri can do the rest of the season. Hopefully it's better than tonight. This Jordan Adams thing is kind of fun to follow now. Also would love to see if Nico Cavadas can stay hot, because he's actually looked pretty darn good as of late. And then guys like Mickey Moniak. Guys like Nolan Schanuel, guys like Zach Neto. Of course, we want to see them finish the season strong as well. Before we wrap this one up, we're going to get to your comments, look at the road ahead, because once again, the question is, can we get to 68 wins to avoid the worst season in Angels history? Jeff says, another loss. Yep. And Anaheim Angel just says, hi, Jeff. Yep, another one. 15 games left. Yes, 15 games, and we got to win 8 of them. I'm not liking our chances at this point. Roger said these kids played their asses off. BPN defense was impressive. Unfortunately, our offense is made up of primarily second stringers. However, I was impressed with our grit. Fair enough. I mean, it was a close game. Some resilience by the team. Like I said, you respond to giving up 4 runs in the second inning by instantly scoring 2. I agree. You got to give some credit there. It is a Friday night. It is at home. You would like to see this team play for their fans a little bit. And so, yes, it is a good thing that they did do that tonight. Anaheim Angel agrees. He says, love the effort and potential. We need to find a way to get over the hump. Need to find some pieces that can fit and don't get hurt. Saucy James says, do we beat the record and get to 96 losses? That is the big question. There are 15 games left. The Angels are 60-87. The most losses the Angels have had in a season is 95. The least amount of wins we've had is 65. It was 65-95. They only played 160 games. Of course, now we play 162. So some people would argue Angels just need to win 66 games, and it's not the worst season in their franchise's history. Others would argue you need to not lose 95 games, which would mean you'd need to win 8 games to avoid that mark. So obviously James here, he thinks the record is 96 losses. That's what he's referring to. And at this point, I don't know, man. The fact that we're playing the White Sox is the only reason why I think we have a shot. If people are unfamiliar with the remaining Angels schedule, they have 2 more games at home against the Astros. Hopefully you can split one of the next 2. I mean, this game was close today. If you can split one of the next 2 against the Astros, you'd go to 61-88. And then you have 3 against the White Sox, and you better win at least 2 of 3 against the White Sox. Then you would be 63-89 if you go 2 for 3 there. So 63-89. That means you would have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 games left to win 5. Once again, fortunately, you play the White Sox 3 more times. You also play the Astros twice. Who knows if the Astros will have locked up the division at that point? If they did, maybe they'll be resting some guys. I honestly don't know what the standings are looking like because the Angels haven't been have given us any reason to look at the standings anytime soon. But actually, I will. Why not? I'll pull them up, look at the AL West standings because it actually does affect the Angels a little bit, seeing if the Astros are in a tight one. Okay, the Astros are now 5 games up on the Seattle Mariners, which means that they can basically lock this one up pretty soon. If they could win, we don't want them to win against us these next 2, but if they do win a couple in their next 5 games before they play us again, then they might be in a position to, if they win Thursday and Friday, they might lock up the division on Friday night or something, and maybe we steal a win or 2 on Saturday or Sunday if they are resting guys. That would be nice. I don't know if they would do that, but nonetheless, say we have the scenario I have right here, where the Angels win 1 of the next 2 against the Astros, win 2 of the next 3 against the White Sox. You're 63-89 with 10 games to go. You got to win 5 of them. You got 4 against the Astros. I'd say win 1. You got 3 against the Rangers to end the year. I'd say win 1. And then can you sweep the White Sox? That's the goal. I think between these next 6 games against the White Sox, you honestly have to win 5 of them. You have to win 5 of them and then win 1 game in each of the remaining series. 1 game in this Houston series, 1 game in the next Houston series, and 1 game in the Rangers series. You win those 3, you win 5 of 6 against the White Sox, and you would be 68-94 and just dodge the 95 losses, just dodge the worst season in Angels history. So that's what I'm thinking. Hopefully we can win one of the next two. I know the Astros are a good team, but you're at home and you almost won today. I think you can win one of the next 2, and you certainly should be able to sweep the White Sox at least one of the 2 times that you play them in the final 2.5 weeks of this season. But with all that being said, I'm going to wrap this one up. Shout out to everybody in here. Love seeing the big crowd, double-digit people the whole stream. We got to 17 people at one point, so I appreciate all the people in here live, even on a late Friday night. Now go enjoy the rest of your Friday night. I don't think I'm going to be able to see you guys tomorrow night, actually, because once again, I am doing the Locked On UCLA postcast. Now, that doesn't mean I can't see you there. Please, please, please join me on the Locked On UCLA postcast following UCLA's huge season opener, home opener, Big Ten opener, as Anaheim Angel properly says, go Bruins. You see, I'm trying to deck this thing out. I've got my UCLA degree right there. I've got my UCLA sash right there. The UCLA helmet's right there. There's going to be more UCLA stuff as well. So yes, please join me tomorrow after the UCLA game for the Locked On UCLA postcast. I won't be able to do the Angels postcast tomorrow, but I will hopefully be able to do the Angels postcast on Sunday, although they are playing at the same time as the Rams, and I am doing the Rams postcast. So we'll see. It's a lot of stuff going on. I would love to do 2 postcasts a day, but if the games are overlapping, then it gets a little bit difficult. So TBD, we'll see, but I will be doing postcasts both Saturday and Sunday, just probably both football. Nonetheless, hope that wasn't confusing. Join me on those if you can. And as always, even after the 5-3 loss and even after all the losses, Have a great Friday night. See you back here on the channel the next couple of days. And as always, go Angels. Take care, everybody. Appreciate it.